Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Relationship Talks with Erica Janelle. You guys remember Sherrod Singleton?
How you doing?
Well, first of all, congratulations
Thank
on
you, thank
your
you, thank
life
you.
coaching
Thank you.
certification. We both are very passionate about helping our community,
Absolutely.
and I'm super proud of what you're going to do to help young men.
Absolutely.
Super proud of what I'm going to do to help young women and
Thank you.
just couples in general. So, we're going to keep in the same theme that I told you was my theme for 2025, which is restoring the black family.
Okay.
Um, so, what are some of the things that, because we both tend to have like weird situations that just happen, and it kind of just always at least in in my life, it reminds me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm
Yeah.
always around situations or people or circumstances where I've got to kind of put my life coaching hat on and see things through the lens of just the ignorance in our community and how we don't really understand the full impact of not wanting to have relationships and not wanting to have family and not wanting to have community. We think that it's not a big deal. And I am constantly challenged with different people, just people in my regular circumstances, friends, coworkers, or just even if I'm sitting down at a restaurant, I end up hearing conversations or people start talking to me. And it's just sad with the mentality that a lot of our people have in this day and age. So for me, it reminds me and reinforces the importance of what we're doing.
Right.
So I don't know if that's an experience that you have as well. I tend to meet a lot of unevolved people.
Absolutely. I think life coaching is necessary because there are a lot of uninvolved people. I think we wouldn't be needed if it wasn't.
Right, right.
But I think most of the conversation I come into contact with is mainly like social media questions, 50-50, submission,
Oh God.
yeah, stuff like that. I mean, my perspective on it is, I think everybody leads and everybody follows in relationships.
Mhm.
I think a man should be submitted unto God,
Mhm.
and if he's submitted unto God, he's following God. If he's following God, you should naturally form into following him. It should be a comfortable thing. I don't think that. I think most women, and I think most women would agree with me. Submission is natural if you're under the supervision of someone who is capable of leading. And the way that you're capable of leading is being submitted to God.
Mhm.
We don't have the answers, He does.
Exactly. And I think that's where the biggest issue comes in because people will talk about, oh, wives, submit yourselves unto your husband. But right before that, the scripture says, submit yourselves one to another under the fear of God.
Indeed.
So we both have a responsibility to submit to God.
Indeed.
If I'm submitting to God, you're submitting to God, and we're both under his vision, then of course we're going to follow. And that doesn't mean that there are not going to be times where God may give the woman some guidance and say, hey, tell your husband you might want to go this way or do this thing or maybe
Yeah,
do that thing because we both have that we have value. We add value.
I'm an abstract thinker in that regard
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think God has men leading the whole situation. I think He has us as a body.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, if you're better at leading a particular thing, I'll be a fool to have myself in charge of something that I'm not good
You're right,
at.
exactly.
It'd be foolish of me to put myself under the money management of the family, and I'm terrible at saving or investing or preserving our money. That I would be terrible at doing it, and you will be better fitted for it. It's better for you to lead that aspect. I don't think that. I think God looks at us as a body, and
Right.
as the body, the arm does differently, completely different things than the leg. The toes do completely different things than the fingers.
Exactly. And I think that if we get caught up in, or we just focus on that aspect of it, it's the same thing, same principle, but I always come from the lens of play to each other's strengths. So if you're stronger in
A
money
particular avenue.
management and I'm stronger in, planning out the direction of where we need to go with whatever, whether it's where we move to and what schools the kids go to and all of those things, if I'm good at that, let me flow in the thing that I'm naturally
Amen.
good at, and I let you flow
Indeed.
in the thing that you're naturally good at, and then there's an exchange of those strengths for
Indeed.
weaknesses. So the piece of the pie is complete, or the pie is complete. There's no inadequacies there. So I feel like a lot of times people focus so much on that part of it because they're not truly understanding. I think there's a fear of, oh my God, if I let him lead, then oh my God, he's gonna ruin our lives. Well, the first thing is who you pick.
Right.
Are you picking somebody that you don't trust?
On top of that,
or that's not a leader?
Yeah, on top of that, you should also have a relationship with God where He'll tell you, nah, that ain't him. You know, like at the end of the day, He's gonna if you're like you said, if you're submitted to God, He gonna guide you. He gonna give you signs. This is a good man, but not your man.
Right.
And I think we have this thought process of mix and match, which is gonna lead into another subject, but we have this thought process of mix and match where, you know, if this man has this, and this quality, or this woman has this, and this quality, then she could be the perfect wife. No, she could be the perfect wife for a particular man. We are not mix and match. We are made for certain people. We are built for our soulmates. Our souls connect to each other before we even recognize who we are. That's why I seen Andy Warhol, and I love it.
Yeah.
He says, fall in love with your eyes closed. Meaning you fall
Absolutely.
in love with who the person truly is, not how they look or how aesthetically pleasing you.
Right, because that's really the person is the heart.
Indeed.
Like that's who you are, that or your soul. That's the nucleus of who you are.
Indeed.
This is the shell. Who you are physically is the shell. And there are a lot of people that look good physically but are trash on the inside.
And
vice versa.
They're not
people that
heavy lifted.
Yeah, maybe that may not be the most aesthetically pleasing, but are gorgeous on the inside. So it really is not about that. For me, it's about, I want to, yes, of course, I need to be physically attracted, but at the same time, it's more about that character.
Yeah.
Because the character, you might be able to tweak some things physically. You know, you can, you know, maybe if you clean them up a little bit. But if he ain't got no character, you can't clean that up.
Absolutely. I say this all the time to people that I know. I want my wife to fall in love with everything but how I look. Like, I want the things that she falls in love with has nothing to do with how I look, how she sees me, how I pour into her, how I handle myself and others, the emotional regulation, the way that I critically think, the abilities and the gifts that I have, my connection with God, the way that I pour into my family, my friends. I want her to see all of those things and fall in love with that man as opposed to how I look, because those things can instantly change.
And they fade. You know, I have to be honest. I came from a church that was like, oh, you ladies need to stop being so picky. So what? He don't look good. You know, just clean him up. No, I don't believe in that. Because you can go too far to the left and you can go too far to the right. I'm all about balance. You have to have some type of level of attraction to a person.
Yes.
They cannot look like somebody stepped in their face and you just be like, okay, I'm going to look past it. I'm going to look past it. I'm going to look past it. I've done that. I actually can say I've done that.
But I'm a different type of man.
And it doesn't work.
In a dynamic where a lot of my significant others or people I've been romantic with, the first thing they saw, the thing that they found most attractive about me was how I looked. It was as opposed to who I was, because at that time I was a shit of a man. I was a shell of what I should have been.
Right.
So they wasn't, what they liked about me wasn't internal at all.
It was physical. All physical.
It was all physical.
Right.
So at this point, I know the physical is gonna be there. If
you're her type.
If I'm her type, I'm her type. So if she sees me and she's attracted, that's gonna be there.
That's the easy part.
Yes, I want her to fall in love with all the other things, the intangible things, the things that God gave me, as opposed to the things that she just naturally sees.
Yeah, and I think it's a challenge sometimes when you are a person that society deems as attractive. A lot of people will draw to you because of your attractiveness and not necessarily ever even want to get to know the real you. So I tell people all the time, when I first meet a man, I said the most beautiful part of me is who I am on the inside. But if you can't get past this, you'll never even get to know that part of me.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to give you that part of me. Because at the end of the day, if all of this is just, physical, that's lust, that's desire, that's passion, whatever. But it's more to me than that, so much more to me than that. I feel like this part is the least attractive part about me.
Absolutely.
My spirit, the work, the love, the compassion, the empathy, the drive. Those
Right.
are the things that I think make me,
The heavy lifting that you
yeah,
had to do.
yeah, and still do. You know, those are the things that I want people to see. And oftentimes, when they see somebody that's physically attractive, they tend, or society's definition of physically attractive. Don't even make me go there. But when they see that, that's all they don't even get a chance to invest in all the other stuff,
Hmm.
or they don't even pick
And the tangible
past that.
and the tangible stuff is what you genuinely gonna keep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff that doesn't fade. How that man pours into you never fades. Him holding your hand or opening the door or making sure that you're good or pouring into you the way that he should. Those are things that never change. How he looks, how his muscles are shaped, or all those things they get old after a while.
Right.
Like
It fades.
it fades. But how he treats you, how he pours into you, who he is, what he respects, what he values, those things don't never change. That's who he truly is. That's the character of him.
Right. And that's the part that we have to reshape our minds into looking at. Yes, okay, you get the physical, but that should take like 5 minutes
Indeed.
or less. Literally. 5 minutes or less. You'll
Indeed.
see if it's what you like or you don't like. That's easy.
Indeed.
Anybody can do that.
Indeed.
The other stuff is really getting to have the right conversations, ask the right questions so that you can get to know how that person thinks.
Absolutely.
Get to know their character, get to know their spiritual direction that they're going in, because those are the
That's
more important things.
That's a beautiful segment to get into. I think honestly, a lot of times women don't ask enough questions.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Well, they don't know how, they don't know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
So it's an educational thing. I think, you know, when you are used to, and I can say this as a woman that gets attention from men that I could really care less to get. I will say a lot of times you're so used to men not even really listening to you, because they're not even hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth. They're just enamored with, ooh, let me see how much I can get to say what I need to say so I can get her in bed.
Right.
That's literally a lot of the agenda. So a lot of the women are just like, I don't even see the point, or they don't even know what to think anymore. They just automatically, their mindset shifts into, all these men just want to have sex.
Right. I think honestly though, like Jay-Z said, it's only so long fake thugs can pretend.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually what's real will be revealed. If he is who he says he is, I think that's what gives, I think the time that you wait as far as sexually, I think should be given.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that if you ask enough questions, he's going to, if he's faking, he's going to trip
Yeah,
up.
he's going to trip up. Yeah,
He's
you'll
going
be
to
able
say
see.
something that's contradicting to the last thing he said. You just got to pay attention. Just
Yeah.
read what he's saying.
Pay attention. So, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Indeed.
Okay. So, what are like 5 questions that you feel like a single woman should be asking on their first initial date with a guy? Okay, they've gotten past the attraction. Maybe we realize we have some things in common. Now, it's our first initial date. I want to be able to kind of dig a little deeper and see if we are compatible. Because, I mean, our first date comes to mind, but I'll talk about that later.
Number one should be, who are you? Not,
Ooh, that's a hard question for a lot of people.
well, if you know
They
who
don't
you
know,
are.
They don't know who they are.
Exactly. If you know who you are, it's not that hard. Number one should be, who are you? And he should have an answer. I don't know. If he don't know, then you shouldn't want to find
You
out.
can't follow somebody that don't
want to find.
Let
Ladies,
them know who they are.
please let him figure out him later on down the line. Number 2 should be, what's your plan in the next 5 to 10 years? What is your plans for your life? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Trajectory. Yeah.
What's the things that you actually genuinely care about? Number 3, what do you love? What do you love the most? What do you covet the most? And if it's tangible things, if it's his car or his money or his job, if it's something like that, it means he has low character. Because If he's
I'm sorry.
serious, it should be something that has value.
Right. I'm
Cars,
sorry, that was just so straightforward. It's
clothes,
something I would say.
money, stuff like that don't have any real value. You could get those and lose it.
Right.
You can get it one day and then you don't have it the next. It doesn't have value.
Right.
So it should all be about what he genuinely, who he is as a man. The question should genuinely be boiling down to who he is as a man.
Hmm.
I would say what you love, who are you, um, and
What's your plans
and
for
what's
the
your,
next
your
5 to 10?
your what's your plans for the next 5 to 10 years, and what's your relationship with the higher power? What who do you serve? What religion do you serve? And the last one, you said 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last one would be what work have you done? What work have you done to improve yourself? In what way?
Excellent questions.
Everybody should.
Excellent questions, but I can think of one that I think is missing. What do you even want in a relationship? What does a relationship look like to you? Because that's important. Everybody has their own upbringings and what they've experienced in life and all of those things. So you know, you want to kind of know what that person is looking for, because you could spiritually could be in alignment, you know,
The reason
know what they want to do in life, but if you don't know what direction they don't know what direction they want to go in, or what they view the relationship as, or what they want.
the reason I wouldn't use that, I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. The reason I wouldn't use that is because most men know women want relationships, especially if he's a man of value. If he seems like a man, I hate to use this because I really don't like high value men.
Oh, I hate that term.
Yeah, like I hate to use that. But anyway, if he's considered a high value man, he knows women want him. So, and he knows that she's gonna want more than just to be tossed around a couple times and then passed off. He knows she wants a relationship. So if she says, "What are you looking for?" and he's gonna say, "Oh, I'm looking for a relationship."
Well, I'm saying, if you asked all the other questions, you think he would still give you that bull job answer? Well, you're a man. I'm not a man.
I think the other questions will tell you if he's actually done work. I think if he's learned who he is and he serves God and he's done work on himself, he's gonna want a relationship. When you start building in yourself, you want to build in every aspect of your life.
Right.
You get what I'm
don't
saying?
want to
You
have
don't wanna-
deficits.
Right.
Right.
So if he's built himself to a certain place, he wants a relationship. He's looking to build in a relationship. It's certain questions that'll lead to that, where you don't necessarily need to know that. You more so need to know, not necessarily if he's looking for a relationship, because I think we all are. We're looking for someone.
But what does it look like?
Right, but
that was my question.
I
Like,
think,
what does a relationship look like to you?
I think it's more of, do you align with him? Is his core values your core values?
Mm.
Is his higher power your higher power? Is the work he's done similar to the work you have? So if those things aren't kind of together and they aren't similar, he's probably gonna pass on you anyway.
Right.
If he's in the gym constantly and you eat everything you can see, it's probably not gonna be the best relationship. And
well,
he's
yeah, you're
probably
not on the
gonna,
same page. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
He's probably not going to take you serious because he wants the same thing you will want. He wants someone who values the things that he values.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ask him what he values,
Mm-hmm.
if they align with what you value,
then you'll get your answer. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, ladies, that's from a man. This is the questions you need to be asking. So, I mean, I'm not a man. I ain't asking. I really am not in that place right now in my life. I'm just working on me.
yeah.
Working on me. So I know there was something else that you wanted to kind of bring to the forefront. Do you remember what that was?
The 50-50 thing.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Different strokes for different folks is my opinion on that.
Yeah.
If it works for you, some men aren't really built to be carriers of too much. Some women are built to like being out. If it works, whatever that dynamic works for you. Because I've met women who's like, I will never see myself not working. I tend to be one of those type of men. I tend to be one of those type of men who want to. I want for my business ventures and control assets to garner the family, protect and provide the family. So working will be
A choice.
yeah, as opposed to having
Obligation.
to.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't want to. I don't think that every man is built that.
Oh, definitely not.
I don't think every man has that type of design in mind. And now I do think that every man has provision. I don't know if they all financially have provided.
Well, a lot of them have not learned how to be providers. A lot of them have not done the work. A lot of them have not been exposed. So it's just like another deficit within our community.
Indeed.
Because people can't learn what they've never been taught. So if our parents don't know, then we have to literally take the initiative to learn it for ourselves. I feel like in my life personally, I'm still learning so many things that I should have known at like 15, but
I agree.
My mother didn't know, so I'm learning now, and so in my mind I'm behind. But in God's eyes, I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly.
So I do know that I do feel like everybody's relationship standards and dynamics are different. I don't like buying into societal norms. That's just me in general.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
Because I personally I stayed at home with all of my kids for some close to a year and others less than a year. I hated being an at-home mom. I absolutely hated it. Mm-hmm. It was like depressing for me.
Because you have that go-getter in you.
Yeah, I'm a driven kind of person.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like I felt like I was in jail.
Exactly.
So it's not for me.
And if you ambitious, then it's not built for you, and that doesn't have agenda to it.
It's
some
just
people
who you are.
Ambitious, some people aren't.
Right.
And you'll find some men who don't have that, and they lack ambition.
Yeah.
And it's not something that they can build themselves to become. It's just not who they are.
Right.
It's so. I don't think. I think that this whole thought process is kind of distracting us from actually getting from actually getting where we should be with who we should be.
It's like we're nitpicking at some of those dumbest things rather than focusing on the core things that matter.
Exactly.
The stuff to me that really, really makes the difference are the things that we're talking about. Who you choose, your path, your destiny.
Exactly.
What's that character like? Those things. But for me personally, I can't be with a man that is not secure in the fact that I am going to be in the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
I have definitely, I will say, probably 98% of my relationships that I was in, there was an issue with my partner not liking that I started to elevate and I was more seen than they were. And I can't be with I know for what God's called me to do, I'm meant to be in the limelight. So I have to be with somebody that's secure in that, and probably somebody that's already also gonna be in the limelight.
Right.
I can't, it doesn't make any sense to be with someone that is insecure about that.
Absolutely.
So those are the things like you always talk about, like compatibility and how alike are you. I feel like your purpose and what God has called you to do and your partners will align. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean it has to be exactly the same, but it will be very much so in alignment. Yeah. Even if maybe the woman is more in a support role. So when you get into your full force life coaching and you're traveling all over the world, she might be the one to help run the business.
Right.
She may not want to be in front of the camera.
Exactly. And that's a natural dynamic. God puts everything together. Nothing is wasted with God, but He puts everything together in its perfect form. So when it's similar. Your core values, your similarities matter in relationships, and if you don't have them, you won't work.
Right.
It just does not. The dynamic of opposites attract. I don't know who made that. I don't know who created it, but whoever follows it,
it's a little
crazy.
Fire. I think it's a little
crazy
chemistry
if you follow it.
That comes with opposites. In some ways, it's maybe some chemistry.
You will be in therapy.
But it is not.
you will be in therapy.
It is
Trust
not,
me.
It should not be the basis for what you build your relationship on.
Absolutely not. Core values.
It should not. It should be that, like, the things that are
Similar.
not just similar, but the things that are really like fundamental for who you are.
Okay.
As a person should be the things that you should be wanting
Core
to focus
values.
on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, yeah, my fundamentals. Like, whoever my husband is has to be in alignment with the fundamental things that I know that God's called me to do.
Exactly.
And vice versa. So if you can get to that part, if that person doesn't even know what they're called to do, you might not want to date them yet till they figure out what they're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
Because you don't
Absolutely.
know if what they're so called to do is going to be in alignment with what you're called
That's
to do.
yeah. That's the questions aspect of it. That's the questionnaire part of it. Like,
Yeah.
you should definitely ask as many questions as you can, and don't. And if you're a man, don't feel like you're being put under like extreme pressure, or like you on first 48 or something like that. It's not. It's not to that
You
degree.
don't,
She's
men don't
just
like
trying
when
to
we ask
figure
too
out.
many questions.
You're just trying to figure out who you are as a man, bro.
Right.
Like,
Are we in alignment?
yeah, are we aligned? If we are aligned, the only way I don't know if we're aligned is if I don't ask the questions.
Pretty much.
I can't know who you are until you answer certain things.
Right.
So
Exactly.
don't take it personal. However, I don't think credit score, career, I don't think those things are necessarily something that we should care about at first. I don't think that's necessarily the point, because even down to you, like where you're at currently is not where you'll be 5 to 10 years from now.
Right. Exactly.
So where I'm at currently is not where I'll be 5 to 10 years from now. So I don't think that we should be focused on where the person currently is. Even down to if the person is successful, that doesn't mean that because they're successful, they're good. It doesn't mean, or they're aligned with you, because there are some successful people that are they have no character.
Oof.
They have horrible character. They are the worst people to date.
Yes.
And you will find yourself in therapy again because you chose to pick a man who was balling.
In other words, you're gonna be in therapy.
Yeah. So if you truly want somebody, don't center it around tangible things. Center it around who they are.
Right.
Because their trajectory, you don't know where God is taking them.
Right.
And you don't want McDonald's while it's McDonald's. You want McDonald's before it becomes McDonald's.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. I think a lot of people are so focused on the, like I said, the surface stuff.
Yes.
The tangible. How much money does he make? You know, what kind of car does he drive? What is his credit score? You know, how many baby mamas do he have? You know, how many? And I'm not saying that those things do not play.
Baby mamas might matter.
Baby mamas matter, but it's deeper than the baby mamas.
It's true.
It's deeper than a baby.
Very true.
Because you could have 2 baby mamas but be an amazing dad.
Absolutely.
Because guess what? None of us came into this earth doing everything right and all made right decisions. So I don't judge you because you got 2 baby mamas. I want to know what you're doing for your children. What's your relationship like with your children's mothers?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, is it healthy?
Absolutely.
Or do you guys, can you not even hold a conversation?
Absolutely.
Because I don't want to be involved in that kind of situation. I'm not getting in the middle of some shenanigans. I don't have shenanigans.
Yeah, that goes back to the core principles.
Right.
His character, who he is as a man. If he has issues with having interactions with his children's mom, it's probably his character. Like, the people before you are gonna tell you a story. Mm-hmm. Now, if he's changed, because I'm sure I got quite a few people before, they may tell you a story that you wouldn't like. However, if he's done some work, he will have people in his life that can tell you, yo, that man has good character.
Yeah.
He's a solid dude. Or, yes, that lady has really good character. She's a solid woman. Mm-hmm. You will have people in your life that will be able to tell what kind of person you
Absolutely.
are.
Absolutely. Because when you are at vibrating at a higher level, you're not even associating with people down there. So the people that you associate with are the best references for who you are, your character references. Indeed. Because if you ever brought a woman near me and you asked if she said, what do you think? Tell me the truth about him. I'm like, oh, he's a good guy. You know, he's solid. He does the work. You know, none of us are perfect, but he does the work. That's the thing that you would want to be. You would want somebody to be able to say that about your character. And you know, none of us are perfect, but overall, when it comes to the core things that if I met this woman and I said, if she asked me questions about you, I would say, for those core things, this is the person that you would want to settle down with. This is a person you would want to marry. This is a person you would want to build a life with because he can do that. He wants to lead. He's not afraid of leading. Whereas a lot of men, I'm trying. You a man, I'm a woman. Okay. These men don't know how to be leaders.
Okay.
And some of it is not necessarily all their fault.
No, I think most of it isn't. I think the truth is, I think we have lost, especially black men, we have lost the ability to bow the head, and I think that we became, to a certain extent, we became cursed because of it. Right. We as black men, we didn't learn right. We learned to lead with our egos, and that took us to a place that is completely different from where we wanted to be, where we wanted to end up. I think we don't bow our heads enough to God, and when you do bow your head to God, God pours into you. You get men around you to lead. I didn't learn how to be a man just for myself. I learned from other men. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a saying: kings make kings, lions make lions, good men make great men. Mm-hmm. So the only way, the best way for a man to learn how to be a man is from a man.
But there's a lot of men that don't have men in their lives. So that's where the challenge comes in, the brokenness comes in. And that's why dating in this day and age is so very exhausting.
This is a personal thing. Go ahead here. Nah, I feel you. I do.
I mean, stop playing with me. You know I am not the only one, because it's not just for women that's experiencing it. It's men experiencing it too. Women lacked a father figure in the household, just like the males lacked a father figure in the household. It left a deficit in both the females and the males. There's a deficit on both parts. And that is why what you're seeing, the result is this mess of mentalities that people have developed, because it's a defense mechanism. It's instead of digging deep and saying, oh my God, the reason why I feel this way is because I never had a father to show me how a man was supposed to teach me how to love me, or a man was supposed to treat me, or I never had anybody teach me how to love myself, or those types of things. So when you do the work, that's what we're talking about. Digging deeper into why you think the way you think, why you conduct your life the way you conduct your life. Look at yourself and be honest and say, am I doing this as a defense mechanism, or am I doing this because I really, really feel this way? Because I think a lot of this whole mindset of, oh, well, if you want to date me, you got to pay this amount of money and do all of that came from hurt. Mm-hmm. That came from you feeling like people were taking from you. So now you want to use that same pain and move differently in a toxic way versus moving in a way of a healed way, from a healed mindset. Indeed. And so it's I know I say how bad the date is. It is personal because I'm out here, you know. I don't want to be single forever, but if I've made a decision, and if I am going to be, I'm fine with it. I like me. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm called to be with someone because we're supposed to do these things together. Right. But at the end of the day, it is frustrating dating. And that's why I was like, you know, I'm good. I'm just going to keep building my brand, keep doing me, keep healing, keep doing the work. Because at the end of the day, that should be the focus anyway. It ain't about a relationship. That will happen. Like, God will organically do that. You ain't got to look for it. But I say all that to say that's why we are here. That's why I take it so seriously about building the Black family, because we are broken because we lack that foundational stuff that other cultures don't. They don't have that deficit that we have. We have the biggest deficit. Absolutely. And that's why people are like, well, oh, why don't Black people just get together? We don't have a sense of community because community's been taken from us. Mm-hmm. We don't have a sense of unity because unity's been taken from us. Absolutely. You know, we don't know who we are. We don't know what the positive male role model and positive female role model is because a lot of us didn't grow up in it. So we had to kind of go through that trial and error dark night of the soul, hard stuff in order to get there. And that's the reality of where we are as a people. It's broken.
Yeah, we haven't learned how to connect the way other races have. But they also, I agree with you on the aspect of like we haven't been taught that.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught to be separate a
Mm-hmm.
lot
Yeah.
in a lot of systemic situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to get into the race baiting and all that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of situations we've been taught to be apart, and we will be given more
Mm-hmm.
and welfare and things of that nature. We will
Mm-hmm.
be given more if we're apart.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth of the matter is, you'll never be.
You'll
given
never
more
win. It was an agenda to
if
begin
you,
with.
if you're apart.
It was an agenda to begin with. I mean, it started with the whole crack epidemic that
Yeah.
took the men out the household,
Yeah,
got them strung out on drugs, or they were in jail. So
exactly.
you got jail and drugs, so no men in the house. And now what do the women have to do?
Fend for themselves.
Fend for themselves. How are they fending for themselves? If they stayed at home, or if the man was the main breadwinner, they had to depend on welfare.
Absolutely.
And it became a system.
Mhm.
And it became a thing now where women are like, well, no, the government takes care of me and makes sure that me and these kids have a home and food and all of this stuff. So if I bring you in here, then I'm not going to get my benefits.
Right.
And it just, it trickled down. This
And they
is
kept
not
building it that way
and
because they know how
intentional.
powerful. Yeah, they
It
know
was
how
intentional.
powerful the family is.
Yeah.
Men will fight and die. Even in before Christ times,
Mm-hmm.
men fought and died for their families. That's what they were doing. Those wars were about making sure preserving my family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's inherently in a man to make sure that he protects. It's inherently in us to make sure that we provide. Now, back to the same thing. Provision doesn't necessarily in every man's mind mean financially.
Mm-hmm.
Some men aren't similar to the way I am. Some men are just like, I don't particularly I'm not a big entrepreneur thinker. I'm not that kind of man. So I'm working a 9 to 5. Willie Earl might have worked at the gas station his whole life and loved being at the gas station. That might just be his thing. Every man isn't supposed to be a serial entrepreneur.
Right.
Some men are built to be workers.
Mm-hmm.
That's who
Nothing
they are.
wrong with that.
And it's not exactly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
However, every man has the ability to protect his family. He just has to value it. And when he considers his family valuable, he'll protect them with his life.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think that goes, women have a natural protective thing over her family as well.
Indeed.
Yes, men should physically protect, but we also emotionally and mentally protect our men. You want to make sure that when your husband goes out into the world, he is covered. I would cover my partner. He won't have to. He knows that he is not out there in the world with the wolves by himself, because I'm here to cover.
Right.
I'm here to cover him. I can see things that he may not see.
Right.
I can, pray over things or give him guidance and direction in things. And I think that's really what it is. It's about pouring into each other. We all have the same responsibility. I think it's just different. God gave women different instructions on protecting our men, and God gave men a different instruction on protecting us. It's different. Ours is, we protect you guys more emotionally and mentally, because emotionally we are more well versed in being emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Men are taught to suppress emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So emotionality is our strong suit, because it's natural for us.
Emotionally protective.
And we're usually much more emotionally more mature.
Right.
Because that's how we're wired.
You're emotionally protective, we're more physically.
But the agenda is the same.
Exactly.
So we are here to protect each other.
Exactly.
And it's really about, and I think that's really the whole point of it all. We get so caught up in all the external foolishness that we don't realize the whole core of what we're supposed to be doing together. And all of these other things that we focus on are distractions. It distracts us from the real core purpose of what we're supposed to do in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And the nitpicky stuff, it matters, But at the end of the day, it's like the second or third layer of things that matter. The first layer is the most important layer, and that's the layer where we see the most lack and the least amount of work that I feel people put into relationships. They put more work into the external, superficial things that can change in a moment's notice, and less energy, focus, and time into the things that's going to be the core values of what's going to make that relationship be sustainable.
Yeah, I think, but that comes from a place of we don't really know. That's why it's up to us, you and I, and other life coaches, hopefully podcasters that actually have done some work. Because you guys who haven't done any work and are just as toxic as the people you're talking to, please
Stop.
Get off a mic and go sit on a couch, and then get back on a mic and see if you have the same rhetoric that you have right now, because what you're doing is not helpful at all.
It's actually hindering.
It is
the
very much so.
The collective, because you are making people now, you're shifting their mindsets to not even believing in successful relationships,
and you're tearing more down. So what you're doing is you're causing more
Adding
people to deal. Right, you're causing more people to deal with relationships they're not supposed to be in, with people that they're not supposed to be in. And then they're gonna turn around and traumatize more people, and before you know it, you made it worse. Right, you made it worse. Like she just finished saying, it's not necessary. I think honestly, I love the DeVals and the Kadines. I love those type of people. I love Candace Love. I don't know who her fiance or husband is. I love those podcasters that actually speak into the dynamic of the people who truly want to make relationships work.
Yeah,
because it's hard. Perform anymore. We can't pretend to love each other and take pretty pictures and then
be a hot mess and at each other's throat,
throwing shit at each other at restaurants because
cussing each other out.
And I've seen it physically myself. I've seen some of you relationship people taking pretty pictures on Instagram, and then I see you out and y'all hate each other. Stop. This performative work is not doing anything productive for anybody, including you. Do the real work. Put forth the real effort. Try to work on the real things and see how your life improves. Told a person, close person of mine, change your mind and your life will most certainly follow.
It'll follow suit.
Change your mind and your life will most certainly follow.
Well, that's the key. Mindset is all about what you put before your eyes, your ears, and what you speak out of your mouth. That's how you shape the way you think. What are you listening to? What are you looking at? What are you speaking out of your mouth? If you're speaking something that's opposite of what you want, no wonder your outcome is that. If you're watching a bunch of filth and foolishness and reality TV shows and these fake relationships, and that's what you're building your standards on, that's the reason your outcome is this. If what you're listening to is these negative, fake masculinity podcasters or fake femininity podcasters that's spewing their lack of healing, then that's what you're going to develop. So your mindset is only shaped by what you put in before your eyes, your ears, and what you speak out of your mouth. That is the gateway to your spirit and to your soul.
And we can tell that you haven't done any work.
Yeah. We can tell. I mean,
people can tell that you haven't done any work. If you think that you're acting in front of them, you're not.
Right.
You're just pretending.
And people can see. And I don't even know why you care about people's, perceptions of you anyway.
If you performing, you care about people's perceptions. Trust me. If I see you taking a bunch of pictures and then I see y'all together and y'all hate each other, you care what people think. You can stop pretending as if you don't care. Either. You care. The reason why you took all those pictures. You got 1,000 pictures on your Instagram of how much you love your woman or your man, and you was ready to throw a shoe at his head last weekend. You care what we think. Because I'm sorry.
Well, I don't care, but I will say I think it's so many things. It always goes back to healing. It always goes back to really taking time to really dig deep with your mindsets. I challenge the way I think all the time. Like, why do I think that way? Is it because of what my parents taught me or church taught me or my people that were influential in my life at the very early beginning stages of my life as an adult? Is it because of what they've told me, or is it because that's really how I feel?
Mm-hmm.
I challenge myself with every area, religion, with, beauty, all of those things, because society will imprint on you and have you developing certain ways of thinking. And the whole purpose of this is to kind of dig through and see, is that a healthy way of thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Is it positive? Is it building me up? Is it building other people up? Because it's never about us. It's always about, we're meant to be healed and healthy and whole, yes, to benefit ourselves, but ultimately it's so we can help other people.
Indeed.
Because there are more people hurting, more people that need healing, more people that need, to understand that relationship is not a bad word.
Right.
It's not a negative thing.
And we need each other.
Absolutely.
It's necessary.
You're not an island.
Relationships is what builds
Community.
Exactly. Community is what builds power.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just down to the fact of like how it's not just because of some type of religion. It's power. It's community, like she said. It's a number of different ways that we can build in each other with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We are meant to be together. We are meant to be unified. We are meant to be connected.
Absolutely.
We are created that way.
Yeah. It always feels like something's missing when it's not.
Right.
When it's not that way. And I'm not saying that you need your partner to feel whole, because we both are pretty whole as individuals. However, your partner adds to you. It's not as hard. It makes it easier.
Indeed.
It's hard when you're doing all of it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot less hard when you have a partner sharing the weight with you.
Indeed.
And that's really what it's about. I think if we can get out of our egos long enough to really, really sit down and be honest with ourselves about why we think the way we think and why we view things the way we view things, then I think we can really make the impact and make the positive advances that we can in our community. But it starts with self.
It does.
We always come back here.
It does.
We always come back to the bottom line is, in order for you to even begin the process of being healthy and healed and whole as an individual, you have to do the work. You have to dig deep.
Indeed.
Go back and think about your warped thinking, and even things that you think are right. Challenge yourself and say, why do I think this?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a healthy way of thinking? Do some research. Pick up a book. I'm just saying, pick up a book.
Yeah, I think most people don't want to pick up a book.
Well, you got Audible. That's just lazy.
It is.
This is
I
called
think,
lazy.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you gotta learn.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do
You have to
form of
educate.
higher learning.
Yeah, you got to educate. You're not going to change without doing something.
If you want to grow, you're gonna have to do some type of higher learning.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not doing some type of higher learning, you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna get where you want to be in.
And you will continue to stay stuck in that low vibrational way of thinking,
Indeed.
low vibrational energy, and then you'll keep drawing low vibrational people.
Indeed.
And you still won't get the right type of people in your life, and you'll keep wondering why is this not working for me? Well, I can tell you why it's not working. Because you ain't changing.
Indeed.
Your mind, you can't. It reminds me of that scripture in the Bible where Jesus told the disciples, you cannot put new wine in old wineskins.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is, if you have not changed the way you think, you're not able to change your outward appearance or anything on the outside that you experience.
Indeed.
You got to change in here first, which starts with changing here.
And then it'll change your whole life.
And it'll change everything on the outside. And I'm not saying it's like abracadabra all of a sudden. No, it's work, and it's hard, and it's challenging. And it's sometimes your faith is going to be challenged. It's gonna wane. It's gonna, you're not gonna always feel like you're where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But you just got it. Now that's when endurance kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't even gotten to the part of you doing the work.
Yeah. A lot of us don't want to.
Because it's hard.
It's hard to stay the same. Me too.
It is. To me, that's more difficult.
Right. But we don't understand that staying the same is also difficult.
It's torture.
It's difficult to be toxic. It's difficult to do the work to not be, to have healthy dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Either one is hard. It's just one has something that something that you can improve. Mm-hmm. The other just keeps you bound and stuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be hard either way.
Yeah.
You just gotta pick your heart and go with it.
Yeah.
Choice is yours.
Yeah. So and to just kind of close this off, or is there more stuff you want to talk about?
No, I think we covered a lot.
No, we did. Because it always gonna all boil down to the work.
It's-
We can't tell you nothing else if you ain't doing the work. So I mean,
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, I just think that yes, it looks like black people are in a downward trajectory, but I'm a faith person.
Mhm.
I know that God called us to do what he's called us to do individually, and then we come together because we see the importance of it.
Mhm.
And for those of you asking or probably thinking, no, we are not together. we are friends who will share the same purpose and the same passion. But I will tell you, God knows how to connect you with the right people. And he knows how to put you with people that are going to help you on your path so that you guys can accomplish what needs to be done. And that's what he's doing here. So we don't take this work lightly. It's not about us. It's about the bigger picture.
Mhm.
I want our community to have hope and have faith and believe in love again.
Right.
And believe in relationships
Because
and build community.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I know
It's
it's
all
low
about-
vibrational right now. But
But
we are here to raise. We're here to raise the vibration. So, thank you for coming again. This will not be your last episode. You know, we talk all the time about this stuff, so we live this. Hopefully, you guys will tune in again. It's been a pleasure. I saw a couple people on here. It looks like they're not here anymore, but this will be posted live. This will be posted on the podcast platform at 9 p.m. as per usual. And we will see you guys again soon. Have a great one.